It is probably the most important piece of land in the city, probably the most valuable piece of land in the city. And we want to make darn sure whatever goes up there isn't going to become another eyesore or some boondoggle or some half-finished project that detracts from the town.
I don't like to make decisions based on those type of fears, but I like to try to look long-term and see how we could structure things to make it appealable to future generations.
Anticipating a future before it happens, that's economic health.
It has certainly been an eye-opener for me to realize how many people have mental health and substance abuse issues.
My mama said not to put beans in my ear. But we're here in Silver City to stay, even bought our cemetery plots, and we're not going anywhere.
The sorts of places where seniors know kids, where kids know the seniors, the sorts of places that feel like a front porch.
I don't have perhaps the highly idealistic plans of some of the other people that are running for council.
Well, having operated businesses on Highway 180 for many, many years, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it irritates me as well.
I cannot remember the exact amount of the investment. It was over $1 million.
There are records available that you can check.
And we can say what we want to do with it if we wanted to sell it, but I can't imagine that there's quite the enthusiasm to buy it that we had earlier.
Not only do we start saving money and being more aware of our surroundings, but we actually start reducing our carbon footprint on our world for our children.
And I have to tell you, I worry about it now, whether truly our children are going to have the opportunities that we did at their age. Thank you.
I mean, all things should be considered, for sure. And then we follow through every considered option to its ultimate consequence, and then we make a decision. That's the way we're supposed to govern.
Noise issues affect all of us, whether we realize it or not. Even down to our pets. Noise during the winter adversely affects the breeding habits of many animals.
I do support building as many trails as possible. I do not and will not ever support using eminent domain to take private property to make this trail happen. I have been quite adamant about that from the very beginning.
I think it's really important to recognize that it makes no sense for the people that are involved with trails and open spaces to advocate eminent domain. That would be shooting themselves in the foot. It makes absolutely no sense.
That getting rid of all motorized vehicles in town would be ridiculous. I think all the people that have difficult time walking, what are they supposed to do? Ride a three-wheel bicycle backwards so they can get someplace? This is nonsense. I have yet to see a mother with 2 or 3 kids go buy a couple of weeks' groceries at Walmart and haul them home on her bicycle.
The other thing is, I don't think any of the candidates are thinking that we're going to remove all motorized transportation.
We have an elderly population, and also a lot of the people in this town very much resent some of the people that want to walk all over the land constantly.
Back in the early 90s, paradigm was the word. The word was paradigm. Everything was paradigm. And now it's sustainability. You know, in my opinion, it's survivability. To me, that makes a whole lot more sense than sustainability. And we survive by long-range planning. We survive by trying to educate our children to do better than we did at their age and to have better opportunities. To me, that's sustainability.
Sustainability has to do with being able to anticipate change, to tolerate change as it happens, and to bounce back to some form of health.
You know, being an accountant, I'm really economically minded, and I focus a lot on our economic position as a town, especially in these trying times, and I want to help us be well positioned into the future.
And neighborhood streets should feel like the front porch. It should feel like Golf Park feels.
We can never be perfect. So what we have to do is we have to look at where we improve on everything.
We have a very sincere need for an animal control ordinance that protects the animals. We've got lots of things to protect the individual from their neighbor's dog, but very little that protects the dog.
And passed out a lot of cards. Got bit by a dog yesterday, first time in all the years that I've campaigned that I got bit. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel good.
I know I've heard ideas of like a quiet corridor downtown where there might be some rules in place that are specific to the downtown area.
Well, I think a valid, enforceable noise ordinance will be very good, but it has to be enforceable.
Noise issues will continue to plague us far into the future.
And the little loud muffler straight pipes on cars. I think that people who enjoy making that kind of noise really have no concern or consideration for their fellow man.
Yeah, I have to agree. This is a quality of life issue.
These issues are difficult. They are going to have to be addressed. There is no simple answer to it. It will take a combination of modification of society by laws, and it will take technology used in conjunction with it.
That's not removing all the cars in Silver City. It's two different things.